Thank you for listening and welcome to the Live Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Trace Shuttleworth is back in the studio after a long break from the world. He's here with nothing to promote, which is oddly refreshing. We're also joined by fellow WWSU DJ Doug Levis from The Levis Effect. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at WWSU1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
Right. All right. We are back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. We're back for another hour of just the best time you can have with your pants on.
With my pants on this time.
And Trace Shuttleworth is in the studio with me. It's been a little while.
It has. What's happening, Dayton? How you doing, Don?
I'm doing good. I think the last time you were here was with Dave Prague. And
yeah.
Before he moved, you actually chased him out of town.
Was it with Dave or was it with Scott Brennan? John Scott Brennan.
Well, you were on with Dave once, I think, and then you were on with...
Yeah.
Okay.
I drink a lot, so time kind of blurs.
Yeah, I drink a lot on the air. So,
I'll toast to that.
That's not really water, Trace, but you got the wrong one. That's my vodka.
I know, it's good vodka.
Doug Levis is going to be sitting in with us and throwing his 2 cents in every now and then because he's got nothing better to do, apparently, than to sit in here amidst this nonsense.
Come on down.
What's up, Doug? How you been?
Pretty good. Just living life. Just waiting for my show on Saturdays from 10 to 11. Just waiting for that.
It's Wednesday and you already start waiting on your show? That's the only thing you're just so eager for that show. I understand. I
just don't care about college. I just wait for my show.
I definitely understand that. I've been doing this show for 3 years and I am so excited every Wednesday at 2:00 when I get to go off the air and forget about it for another week.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I love doing the show. It's I was thinking earlier today that of all the things I do in my life, about 95% of them I'm doing against my will.
Yeah. I do that. I get up every morning.
Yeah, I get up every morning when I don't want to. I go to work where I don't want to, but I have to because they pay me, and that's the only way I can keep my house and.
You should try selling blood and semen. I've been doing that for about a month, and it.
Oh, you can sell that?
Yeah,
they're giving it away for free.
Yeah. Well, I got a vasectomy in '89, so I know I'm going to get a talking to about hey, there's nothing in here.
Yeah. But I mean, even just a lot of the club stuff. I just don't feel like I don't even feel like getting on stage anymore. I haven't been on stage in like 4 or 5 months.
Me too. I don't think I've done a show since. Like maybe July or August.
So, yeah, we're about in the same boat. Now, I got up in October for the Dead Comedian Society at Wiley's, and I got to be John Belushi for an evening.
See, I couldn't even get my ass out for that.
I still have a battle scar from that.
Oh, nice.
That's what happens when you roll off the stage.
Yeah, well, live and learn.
I was right there. That was commitment. I was right there on the edge, and I'm thinking, if I roll one more time, I'm flopping over the side. And I was like, yep, I'm on.
Scars tell great stories. Let it fly.
But that's the last time I've been up on stage. So the last time I've been on stage doing my own material was probably, I think, September. I think mid-September I got up and did one.
Yeah, I need to get back up. I've written a few and retooled a few and
see. I'm
got a decent set.
I'm kind of in a lull right now.
Yeah?
I'm trying to. I have to be up Sunday. I'm going up Sunday for Wiley Sunday Comics, my first time in a while, and I'm trying to get a set together. And I've lost my humor. Trace. I've
got a decent set I put together a couple weeks ago.
I've lost my humor. I should probably talk to you after the show.
Yeah. Well, it's people don't realize, that sometimes it is, kind of tough to,
It is.
To, keep it going. I've been doing it now for 4 years, and April will make 5, and You get to that point where you just like, I need a 3-month break away from people.
Coming up in April is my 4-year mark.
Yeah.
First time I did a stand-up show at Dayton Funny Bone.
Yep,
First
that was
time I
my
did one,
first.
yeah.
That's a great place to do your first set. I mean,
It is,
especially if you've got people
is
in the
Wiley's.
audience.
So is Wiley's.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Wiley's Sunday Comics is always a great show.
It is, and it's great to. I feel I can do different stuff at Wiley's than I do at Funny Bone.
Yeah,
I
Funny Bone
feel like I
seems-
can get
it
away with
feels
just a little bit more.
proper, and Wiley's is kind of just a laid back, relaxed
Yeah.
kind of. That's one of the things I love about Wiley's.
Yeah, kind of like partying in grandma's basement where you can get away with stuff.
Yeah, because mom and dad
Yeah.
they'd catch you on stuff. Grandma
Yeah.
was she'd
let you go.
let a
She'd
little
let
more
you slide.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. It's
So Wiley's is compared to grandma. Now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just
that's not a bad thing.
No, I mean, it's like when I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, and at mom and dad's house, mom and dad both partied back then, and you could get away with things at their house that you couldn't get away with anywhere else.
That's true.
Dad would tell us, if you boys are going to do crap like that, you need to stay here at the house, and we're like, free pass, hello. And, we got a house, come on over. And so we got used to this is how life is. And when we got outside of Hocking County, and we realized that not everyone has parents as cool as you, dude.
Right.
Not everyone's parents are just going to whip one out and light it up because you're walking back a road with a beer.
Yeah.
And
And they should. That's
exactly. And I'd bring
All
Army
parents
buddies
should
up from
just,
Georgia, and they're like, holy crap, I can't believe how cool your parents are. And that's, if you were going to do anything outside the norm, you could do it in mom and dad's basement.
right.
That's kind of like Wiley's. If you're going to do something just a little bit outside the norm, you can do that at Wiley's. And it's such a great place to especially like practice new material.
Oh yeah.
It's I did a joke one night about getting busted in the nose. And so I came up on the stage and had my little bloody rag in my pocket, and the host just freaked out. And it was like, he was like, "Oh, geez, do you need a minute?" And he thought, I got popped in the face by, one of the, rougher broads over in the Oregon district.
Yeah,
and it's like,
which can happen.
which you can. I mean, I've heard dudes getting jacked up. And no, it's a joke. Just calm down. But again, I don't think I've ever done that joke anywhere but Wiley's.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not even going to point out you just said butt Wiley's.
Yeah.
So every now and then, just got to let that
moving
slide
on.
too. Yeah.
But Wiley's.
Yeah, butt Wiley's. Got a case of the butt Wiley's. So, why I'm not even going to. We're not going to talk about the long break for either of us.
Yeah. Sometimes
you.
you just need a couple of months
Yeah.
to sit at home and
Yeah.
be away from people and drink and
Yeah.
just relax for a minute and breathe and have a life and see your family and pet the cat.
That's a good idea. You want to take over the rest of the show, Doug? I'm gonna
Yep,
go.
Tap, you're in. We're out.
Yep, we're out. Just talk. Here's some news stories you can go
Yeah.
over.
Oh yeah,
Be
you
good.
just go
Be
back
good,
and
yeah.
just have a few.
Yeah, you got
continue.
this.
Yeah.
So how's your show going? The Levis Effect
Uh-huh.
on Saturdays. What time's that air?
10 to 11 a.m. It's going so far. It's so like my show's so what's happening each week that it's kind of tough to talk about like stuff
Yeah, it's hard to
the
prepare.
previous
'cause,
week.
Yeah.
Because I mean, during say the football season, there was 4, 5, 6 different stories just throughout the entire regular season.
Yeah.
Now it's just like now during the playoffs, it's like, oh, well, it's like, well, that's a new QB rotation having Bortles and
Well, who's going to the Super Bowl? We want your prediction. Who's going to the Super Bowl?
well, from the beginning,
Trace doesn't care, but I want your prediction.
from the
Yeah, my team lost. I'm out. Tap out.
yeah, I'm about the same way. Pretty much from the start of the playoffs to now, it's just all gone downhill. But from the remaining 4 teams, I want to see. I really want to see the Eagles and
Good man.
the Jaguars go in.
Well,
go
yeah,
that.
because the Eagles would win. That's,
Well,
Anyone
what I
but
want
the
to see
cheaters.
too. That's exactly what
Just-
I want to see.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
just don't
like-
want the cheaters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I-
don't want the We've had too many Patriots Super Bowls and just too many Patriots football games.
Well, and again,
we
when you can get away with cheating, I mean, what does that show kids today?
Yeah.
When they just, he deflated balls, but look the other way. Oh, they were reading the signs from across the field the year before that. And I just, slap on the hand, move on.
Yeah. No asterisk by the
asterisk. We did that to Mark McGuire. Do it to
exactly.
Shady.
Yeah, do it to Bill a cheat and
exactly.
Could do that. Any other team will probably try and do that, and they'd probably get heavily fined and or games.
No, you know it.
Lost. See, the one of the reasons I don't like the Patriots, and years ago, Patriots were basically nobody thought of them. They weren't really a contender. They weren't really good for quite some time.
Yeah, they were very bad.
And then the September 11th, and that year they won the Super Bowl, and ever since then they just constant. Yeah. Patriots. It's like, okay, that's fixed. That's fixed. It's just like the Saints going to the Super Bowl after Katrina. It's fixed. Yeah. This is my conspiracy minute here on The Life. It's all fixed. Don't bet on football because you've already lost.
Well, when I saw Kraft at a game there a couple of weeks ago, it's not even your team. Why are you in this house?
Where was he?
I don't know. It was one of the, not even his team playing, but he was there to watch. It was like, why is Bob Kraft in somebody else's stadium? Oh, well, I'm greasing the wheels for later, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
Pay attention.
And, I mean, that's the thing about I'm a Pittsburgh fan. I know you're going to hate me for that, but...
I don't care one way or another. I'm an Eagles fan, so...
Honestly...
6 and suck
it. So we got two Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah, it's just... it was a rough weekend for Pittsburgh fans. Having 6 touchdowns and still losing on Sunday. And then on, Saturday, having Garrett Colby traded to the Astros. And then on Monday, having Andrew McCutchen, the face of the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise, be traded to the Giants.
Yeah.
I was just like, after this weekend, I'm like, you know what? If the Penguins could do anything to actually help, at least try and win, because that will help at least supplement not wanting to go out and cry.
Go to Pittsburgh and jump off the overlook.
Yeah.
Just like, after this weekend, I'm like, okay, Penguins, please do something, because I don't want to cry. I don't want to have a mental breakdown after this weekend. I'm just ready to get through this weekend.
Oh, so you haven't had one yet. How old are you?
I was going to say, I'm like moments away.
Yeah, at any given point in the day.
I was saying that earlier. It's like, any moment.
It's like a rubber band that's been pulled to snap.
Exactly, and left out in the sun too long, so I'm already a little dry right now.
Yeah, a little crinkly. I could just at any minute.
Much to make me snap these days.
Snap and hurt your fingers.
Yep, that's why I try not to get too into sports, because I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm an Eagles fan like, oh, they won, oh, they lost. I'm not like they lost.
Football's the only thing that I watch.
Used to that.
Yeah, that's the thing is you rarely see any middle ground in terms of like sports fans, because there's either sports fans like you who are like, okay, they won, okay, they lost. It's the thing. That's what happened.
Or they're the ones that are throwing their bowls of popcorn at the TV and cussing at the quarterback.
Like me,
I don't get that excited.
Yeah,
I'm
a lot of people that do.
I'm similar to that, but I don't break anything to that point. But you rarely ever see any more people who are like middle ground, who actually pay attention to it but don't get extreme to it.
Right. See, I used to be more middle ground, because I'd love to watch, but now I don't have time. I don't think I've watched but one game this whole past season. It's probably why my team's win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't talk smack before they play, because that's just guaranteed that I'm going to lose.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much what happens to the Steelers is everybody was like talking about, oh, we're gonna face the Patriots in the conference championship, and they're like,
I do it anytime I just see a Patriots fan, just hiss at them and just makes them mad.
Yeah, and then like,
because that's the sound of the ball deflating.
That's it, and they all know it.
Yep.
then the Jaguars are like, yeah, you should probably pay attention to us since we did beat you 30-9 last time we faced you.
Can't take any of them for granted.
That's true.
That's
I've been wondering if the Eagles happen to go to the Super Bowl, if they win the championship, if they happen to go to the Super Bowl, what's going to happen next season when Carson Wentz is back? What's going to happen with Nick Foles? Are they going to trade him?
I don't know. They both look good this year.
Yeah, they both look pretty good this year. But they tried Nick Foles before, and he did okay for a while, and then kind of tanked.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's like John Kitna always looks good for 2 or 3 games, and then he stinks up a field like no one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Keep both of them. Have one kind of primarily do in the post regular
But here's the
season.
thing: if you're Nick Foles and you took the team through the playoffs to the Super Bowl, are you going to sit the bench when Carson Wentz is back? Who are they going to put up? Because you got to figure who took them through the season.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's a toss up. What do you do? It's kind of like several years ago, I think it was 2007. Because Donovan McNabb, he used to get if it looked like a losing season, if we got about halfway through the season, it looked like it was going to be a losing season, he would get injured for the rest of the season, and it would be out.
Yeah,
he did that like 3-4 years in a row. Well, he did that to 1 year, and Jeff Garcia came in and took him through the playoffs, almost to the championship.
Yeah, that's the thing about a backup. You got to watch them.
Exactly. And then
sometimes
the
they're
next
prepared.
Year, McNabb was back in as the starting quarterback. They traded Garcia off to Tampa Bay. So what are they going to do with Nick Foles if he takes him,
That's a very good point. I mean, you have 2 pretty good caliber teams, and you have to question, like, do you want a player who you already know is fairly good in Wentz, or do you want a QB who can show up in pivotal games, or be done games?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tough question.
I'm curious to see what happens with that.
I'm ready for next year.
Yep, you're just done. You're ready for next year, and that's
pretty much.
Yeah. But
don't do basketball. Don't do baseball anymore.
Yeah, I don't really pay.
Although
much
I do go to a Dragons game. I do like going to the Dragons.
Yeah, those are pretty fun to go to.
I have not been to one. I've been meaning to get out to one, but I've never been a big fan of baseball in general. But going to actually watch them in person, I can see how that would be fun.
It is, and it's kind of depending on where you sit. There's a little defense involved in it. It's not just drinking in the sun. It's watching out for stuff flying at your head.
Well, yeah. You always gotta.
That's the thing about baseball that I can see that I definitely see compared to football, basketball, or hockey. That baseball, if you watch it on TV, it's boring after 2 or 3 innings.
There's no risk of something flying at your face at 1,000 miles
unless
an
you're
hour.
in a house that's a possible risk beforehand. But for the most part, going to the game is a lot more fun than watching it at home. Where football and hockey, it's a lot more fun.
Well, there have been people got hit by pucks too.
Yeah,
which I would say that's equally brutal.
Yep.
Heads
up. And behind the glass isn't safe either.
I always remember Larry Miller, the comedian. You remember him? He had this one bit. He's like every time the players hit the foul balls, these balls go like rockets, and the announcer always goes, "Now there's a lucky fan," and I'm thinking, "Oh, they don't tell you this guy's reaching for a hot dog. Oh, that's too bleak." You ever catch a baseball at 1,000 miles an hour?
And now he's never going to breathe again. So that'll be fun. Yep. Look at the size of that nose swell up.
I miss Larry Miller. Is he still out there?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think he's still with us. I don't think he does comedy anymore.
I always loved his comedy.
Yeah, me too.
The 5 levels of drinking was one of my favorite routines he did.
God,
do you remember that one?
No.
Yeah. There are 5 levels of drinking. 6 if you live in a trailer park, but normally 5.
I just remember he made great faces while he was doing his bit.
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of my favorites
back
in the day.
He can manipulate those eyebrows.
My top two favorite comics of all time. One of them I know is no longer with us. Richard Jeni.
Yeah, I loved Richard Jeni.
Yeah, I loved Richard Jeni. Absolutely, one of the best ranters I mean, that could go. That guy could go 20 minutes without taking a breath, and you're trying to breathe because you're laughing so hard because everything he's saying is just punchline after punchline after tag after tag after tag.
Yeah, and he doesn't give you a break.
Yeah,
and. I remember when I first started doing comedy, I kind of thought that's how you did it. No, you don't give him a chance to do it. You just beat the hell out of him, just one after another after another.
It's like seeing Greg Hahn. Have you seen Greg Hahn?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, that man is amazing. He just nonstop energy, and he's another one. He will beat you to death with punchline after punchline, and they're all pretty much one-liners, but they're just spit-fired at you. He was amazing to see on stage. He was, I think it was back in November, maybe October, November. He was at Wiley's, and I got to sit down and watch his show, and he is absolutely amazing.
I got to go to the very first comic relief they did back in, what was that, like 86, 87, something like that. And I was living in L.A. at the time, and just. That thing was like 6.5, 7 hours long. I don't know how they edited it down to 3, but it was just, I left there. My sides had never hurt so hard from laughing. And it was like everybody that was in comedy, Richard Jeni was there. I mean, just everybody. And, to walk away from that and just, it was amazing to see, speaking of Jeni, and he was doing a bit about wearing a condom. And it's like, why don't we just, twist some saran wrap around that thing and crank on it with a monkey wrench, and let's just start yanking out pubes with tweezers. Let's go.
About the same thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like, what the heck is this guy talking about?
Yeah, if anybody listening has never seen the comedy of Richard Jeni or Larry Miller, get on YouTube, look them up. They are absolutely amazing.
Look it up.
On that note, I think we're gonna take a little break. I got some Potter's Field queued up.
All right.
You ready to do some head banging?
Yes, sir. Let her rip.
All right. Actually, a little tidbit about Potter's Field. Just found out last week they are right now #1 on Dayton's metal charts for Reverb Nation. #1 metal in Dayton.
Nice.
So yeah, absolutely
fantastic.
And there's a reason they rock
metal.
So we're gonna play a little Potter's Field, and we will be back here shortly.
Way down my head, in my heart. Never felt such hopelessness. Never shed so many tears. Why stare endlessly into space? It feels like a wordless way. Sorrow
Here's this week's Comedy Rundown, brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Friday through Sunday, January 26th through the 28th, Kostaki Economopolis is at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Friday, January 26th, Comedy Night at Uncle Louie's Lounge at 2667 Rombach Avenue in Wilmington, Ohio. The headliner is going to be Lori Graves, and that show starts at 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday, January 26th and 27th, Paul Spratt is at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in the Oregon District. Saturday, January 27th, Laugh for a Cure Comedy Night at Bojangles Nightclub at 1925 South Alex Road in West Carrollton. That show starts at 8:30 p.m. And Sunday, January 28th, Comics Hangout and Joke Workshop at 5 p.m. at Wiley's, followed by Wiley's Sunday Comics at Wiley's Comedy Club at 8 p.m. That is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows.
The weekdays are made for working, but the weekends, those are made for gaming. Join Ellison Smith every Saturday for a new episode of Saltwater Gaming as he breaks down video games of all different genres, consoles, platforms, and eras. Get a bit of the old and a bit of the new, a bit of the action and a bit of the mystery. Get it all every Saturday on Saltwater Gaming, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
All right, we're back on the air. I'm well, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be hearing this. So just so you know, in case you're hearing this and you don't realize that we're broadcasting, we are back on the air.
We are back. The acid is not kicking in. It's just us.
Yep, that way there's no confusion about where we are. We are
Speaking
on
of the acid kicking
right
in,
now.
did you notice the new shirt, huh? How about that?
I did, and I was going to tell you, it's kicking in with that shirt. And
I like to get frisked a lot, so I always wear questionable outfits. And you come here.
Well, with all the cats on there, it does look really frisky.
Yeah, we're going to pat you down.
Yeah. see what I did there, Doug? Yeah. That's called comedy gold.
Yeah.
Or something. That's comedy brown, maybe. That's probably what that's called.
Heavy comedy aluminum.
Yes. Well, we are back on the Life Radio Show. Obviously, what other show would be this stupid as soon as they come back on the air? I'm your host, Don Smith. What other host would be this stupid?
And I'm Trace, and I'm out of jail.
Exactly. Trace is out of jail. And the acid isn't kicking in yet.
Yeah.
So we're still good. Doug, is your acid kicking in yet?
Not yet.
Have you tried the NyQuil?
Yeah. Doug Levis just squeaked the microphone across there in case I love to get those squeaks in every now and then.
Yeah, that was not the acid. That was just me moving the mic.
That's Doug squeaking over there. So anybody sounds like bed springs going to town, but there's no monkey business going on here.
I haven't put my Bengay on yet.
Yeah.
My joints.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the bed springs with you and Trace over there.
Hey.
Haven't been gay yet. So not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Just want to clarify. Dude, where are we? We're in the studio at WWSU 106.9 FM. Let's do. Are we ready to hit some news stories?
You bet.
Okay,
let's find out who's doing what.
Let's find out what's going on in the world right now. Now, I skipped this one last time. I don't know why. I'll go back and hit it. It's probably not all that exciting. That's why I skipped it.
All right.
Nothing like disqualifying it before you even start.
Exactly. Let's throw a zero out and see what happens.
Let's dump a big turd on them and see how they like it. A woman who accidentally received the wrong lottery ticket from a cashier and decided to buy it anyway made the right move. Oksana Zakharov figures that's part of that Russian conspiracy. That's her payback for getting the President Trump elected in there. 46 from Edgewater, New Jersey, was shopping in Manhattan when she asked the clerk for a $1 New York lottery scratch-off ticket. Instead, the man unwittingly handed her a $10 set-for-life ticket. Zakharov noticed the mistake. She said, when the clerk handed me the wrong ticket, I felt bad, so I decided to just go ahead and buy it. The mother of two told the lottery in a press release. I actually used the ticket as a bookmark for a couple of weeks before I decided to scratch it.
Yeah.
Now she can buy a whole lot of bookmarks. She won $5 million to be distributed over 20 years plus annual net sums of $172,068 after that for the rest of her life. And we all hate her now.
Still 176. That's not too cheap.
Yeah, that I would take that.
Yeah. You see
yes.
the kid that won the big money was like, what, 21?
20.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Was he 20? Was he old
Yeah.
enough to buy it?
Yeah, he was.
Because I thought you had to be 21 to win.
I don't know.
I don't know the exact details, but I know you have to at least be 18 to buy it because that's any state. You have to be 18 to buy lottery stuff.
Right.
But I don't know the exact details.
Yeah, me either. And but anyway, Still, so if
that'd-
somebody
that'd
hands
be
you
sweet.
the wrong ticket,
Take it.
take it. Might as
Yes,
well because
take
it could be fate.
Exactly.
And you could lose $10 and get nothing at all.
Yeah,
But,
well,
you
then
know,
you-
what
you
have you
know.
lost other than $10?
At least you didn't get a scar out of it. You know,
Yeah,
you don't have a good story.
Exactly. Yeah, you get. I mean, unless you get a paper cut from it, because
Then you could do that.
Yeah.
You know,
$5
you
million
can just-
paper cut.
Yeah, I'd take it. Yeah, give me $5 million.
good paper cut across
yeah.
the back of the neck to the guy that sold you a losing lottery ticket.
Yeah, I do that anyway.
Yeah.
I try to go up behind him. Later on after they sell me the losing ticket, I make sure they.
I wonder if you could take those back for a refund. Hi, these didn't work. Here's a pile of rejects.
Well, I think you can only do that once the acid kicks in.
Yeah. No, once that kicks in, you can do just about anything.
That's true.
It's
That's true.
funny because whenever I was younger, my this was whenever I was not even double digits, and I was my mom. I was somewhere shopping with my mom, and my she gave me like $1, expecting me to go and get like a soda or a snack from the vending machine. But I had other plans by putting it in the scratch off machines, and got one, and I gave it to her. She scratched it off and got like $25 off of it.
There you go.
I'm like,
She did.
well,
But you didn't get any money out of that, did you?
I have no idea.
He was not
She-
18 at the
yeah.
time, and that's illegal.
Yeah,
We've discussed that.
That is wrong. That is wrong. That basically your mother stole your money.
Yeah.
That's what That's what happened right there.
Well, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, she stole your luck and your money. So, yep. You should.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Thanks for nothing. You start. You take, mother. A speeding car driven by a man authorities said had been using drugs soared off a median divider and into a second-floor dental office in Santa Ana, California early Sunday. And the vehicle lodged there as cops and rescuers arrived to extinguish a small fire and help extract one of the occupants. The Orange County Fire Authority, thanks for the squeak, the Orange County Fire Authority noted in a series of tweets, because that's how these authorities communicate.
That's how they get
anymore.
it around these days.
Right. Yeah. Forget the news. Tweet it. When in doubt, tweet it out.
Exactly.
Another car occupant exited unassisted. Both had minor injuries. The driver, who admitted to using narcotics,
But he
probably
didn't say
have
what
to.
kind,
Yeah.
because some of us
Yes.
want to know.
will be admitted to local hospital for observation. Fire authority statement said. Authorities are pursuing DUI charges against the driver, whose name has not been released.
That was pretty amazing how he could take a car and put it in the second.
In the second
Have you seen
floor,
the video of that?
I've not seen the video. I've seen the
Oh
picture.
man,
And
he
the
was
picture is
he was
fantastic.
cooking. He hit that median, and he had to have had some good speed behind him, because he hit that baby and he launched like a Hot Wheels.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it
have
was
to
pretty
find
cool.
that video now.
Yeah.
So I can take a look at that.
Oh, it was
yeah.
it was
See,
it was
you got Doug
yeah.
looking it up right now. Give
It
us
was
a
a-
play-by-play. For
Yeah.
this. I'm just kidding. We can't do video on the radio. This
All right.
is audio format.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or you-
See,
you
much
don't-
like
you
they're
don't
not
try
getting
to-
the
you don't try to
entire
show
joy
video.
of the shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You don't try to do video clips on your show, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, because that'd just be confusing for listeners.
If you've never done acid, you could lick this shirt, but you're going to want to
Yeah.
be safe.
I like
Someplace
it
safe
either
for like
Safe
10,
place.
15 minutes.
I like it either way. That's something I would wear.
Yeah, if he likes it, just not enough to lick it just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get to a safe place.
Lollipop.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, you going to hiss on that one?
No.
Signed a law on Monday making it illegal to fly an unmanned drone aircraft after having too many drinks, said a
Really?
spokesman of on the Republicans' last day in office, because Chris Christie is out of office now. So that was his last act, to say no drinking and droning. The law prohibits flying a drone with a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or higher, the same as for driving a vehicle or while drugged. even if it's against your will, I guess. Because being drugged, it's different than being on drugs.
I can barely operate me if I'm drunk, much less a drone. You know, what are you going to, like, fly it into the closet and just bounce it around the coach for a while?
Right. Just that the way that's stated, or while drugged. Because being drugged is not something you do on your own.
You're
being
right.
on
You're
drugs.
Right. Now, being on drugs,
if
that's
you're on
different.
drugs, you did it yourself. If you're drugged,
there's usually a dart in your ass somewhere.
Yeah,
you're going,
or you're having a drink with Bill Cosby, something like that. If you're drugged, so violators. This drink's weird. Violators face up to 6 months in jail or a $1,000 fine or both for flying a drone while drinking. That is terrible. Because really, it's a drone. What? I mean, I can see if it's one of the big military
you get a little special
drones,
license plate for that if you do. That drone's been drinking.
Do they have little drone police officers pull you over? Is that how does this work?
Little drones to come and butt you out of the sky. Get down.
Pull over.
You have ones with guns in it.
I'm just going to tap you to the ground. Land.
Land the vehicle.
The
measure which passed the Democratic
Remember
controlled
Spy Hunter as a kid, the
Oh,
video
yeah.
game? You got a little fog bank that
little
just fly in front of him and fog him out. Now he can't see.
That's fantastic.
Just
'Cause you could use
fly
that as a
above him and
mosquito
oil
fogger,
slicking.
too. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Well, with a drone, you'd want something that would cast a net out and then take them down. You know,
And the net's a
get
pretty big
wrapped
girl.
up.
I bet she would, too.
The net? Oh, yeah. She'd reach right up and grab it. Take them down.
Air spikes.
The measure, which passed the Democratic-controlled state legislature early this month, also bars flying a drone near a prison or in pursuit of wildlife. So if you're hunting with a drone, you're in trouble.
In pursuit of wildlife. Well, there goes what I want one for. I just wanted to terrorize squirrels. Not so much.
I wanted to chase neighborhood dogs around. If they're wild dogs only, and feral cats. That's why I want my drone, is just to go up every now and then and just buzz a feral cat.
I'm even good with the cats. It's just the squirrels that I have. Tree rats. Just leave my neighborhood. I'd be good.
Yep, I want to chase pigeons. That's really.
Oh, there you go. Just hang out in the building above the statue. Just wait for him to land.
I want a drone that can poop on a pigeon. That's what I want. Just
drone with a squirt bottle attached to it. Yeah, there you go.
Like a pancake mix.
That would be perfect. I want a drone that looks like a bird that can poop out pancake mix on my neighbor's car.
Or ketchup. Just a big bloody splat. Just right on.
I'm buying a drone now. I got plans.
Here on the news, Don Smith buys a drone and dumps pancake
News at 11, Don and Trace in jail again.
Jumping camp pancake mix on everybody.
Apparently, there are 38 states that are considering restrictions on drone flying this legislative year, according to the National Conference of State Legislatures. Is that really something? I mean, come on.
Well, I was watching a thing the other day on the opening of the Cincinnati. What was it? They just opened down in Cincinnati this year.
Oh, I don't know.
Big. This music hall.
Oh, okay. I
and the dude that was operating the drone, he showed some,
I didn't know that. I was going to try to throw a Bengals joke out there somewhere.
They were, showing the footage of here we are going to open the new music hall. And this guy had his drone out. Let's show some drone footage. And you could tell that,
that he'd been drinking?
Yeah, had been drinking or something there. Because, it was just jerking all over the place. It's like, dude, just let the camera do the work. And then he went from, this is cool, to, wow, look, suddenly we're violating, federal airspace. Because, when you can see, when the buildings lose definition and you can't tell what you're looking at, your drone's a little bit too high.
You're too high, and so is your drone.
Exactly. Both of you, come on down.
Yeah, the pigeon pooping drone, that is definitely something I want.
We'll get R&D working on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is no off on the genius switch. My mind is just a blur right now.
There's got to be some payback for those birds that poop on my car all the time.
After the show, we're going to Radio Shack.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Like, we need parts.
Yep.
Now you might need a drone to find a Radio Shack.
Yeah, are there any Radio Shacks around?
I
gonna
don't
have
know.
to.
Well,
gonna
let's
have
go to
use our
Mendelssohn's.
GPS.
Mendelssohn's got parts.
Oh yeah, Mendelssohn's.
There we
I bet they got some. You can get a good drone.
All right, we need to poop on birds. What do you got for us?
If I want a pooping drone. What do you got?
Security.
Yeah, they
Not
are kicking in now, ain't it?
Not
Yeah,
again.
Doug, quit licking his shirt. Punk rock has been around for more than 4 decades, which means the original creators are old enough for Social Security or at least AARP cards.
Yeah, some of them are dead by now.
Yeah. Yet the genre still
Beat the
maintains.
bat brat with a ball bat. I can't even raise a ball bat. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yet the genre still maintains its youthful appeal to anyone who has been snarled at by a teen wearing a Ramones T-shirt can attest. That's why old school punks can relate to a new song by a bunch of cranky old musicians called, appropriately enough, F Youth. I'm not going to say the whole F word youth. The Los Angeles-based punk group Super Bean performs the song and doesn't mince words. Kids, here's some of the lyrics. Kids today think they're so great, they think they got it made. Got it made. When I was their age, it was so much cooler. When I got older, I found out the truth. F youth.
Yeah.
And yes, the video for the song features an old guy yelling, "You kids get off my lawn!"
There we go. That's my neighborhood. I'm sometimes that guy.
Yeah. Every now and then.
Out there
Every
swinging
now
a
and then.
shovel.
Yep, your day isn't complete till you chase some darn kids off the
Yeah.
lawn. Yep.
You punks.
Yeah.
Maybe with that pooping drone.
There you go.
Hey.
That's another use for it. So kids get on your lawn, you can make your drone poop on them.
I'd like to rig up a boxing glove to a drone. Just fly right up next to him and just,
Bam!
hey, stupid, what?
Yeah, it said get off my lawn. Yep, or a boot.
Just fly right up next to him
Just a
and-
low-flying
Yeah.
drone with a boot in the front.
Like on an 8-foot pole.
We're going
just
to make
smack.
a fortune with these, Trace.
There's probably a listener like,
Yeah.
oh, this
Yeah.
stuff is
Yeah.
juicy.
Yep, all these ideas are copyrighted by Trace Shuttleworth and Don Smith. Do not touch them. We are making them tonight. I'm going to call in.
Going to Mendelssohn's where we're getting some
drones.
parts. Yep. I need like 2 gallons of super glue.
Yep. Yep. I'll work on the boots. You work on the punching
All
glove.
right.
The
Oh, trust
boxing
me, I've
glove.
got the punching thing.
Awesome. Yep. Little battering ram,
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
That's what
exactly.
it is. Because you could sell that to police force. That way they
Yeah,
can
get
just
that baby
ram
so
in,
it punches out a good 7 or 8 feet. Get some good velocity behind it.
Oh yeah. We could. We're on it.
Yeah. The drone's going to look like, the size of a damn ceiling fan, but
That's all good. That's just another warning. Stay away from it. You'll get chopped up.
But, yeah, it's
If the
coming after
battering
me.
ram doesn't work, you can just move it close.
Yeah. Take the safety guards off of it, and you can just cut somebody.
There you go. Just fly it around, just date and just beat the hell out of
Yeah,
people.
beheading people and punching people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Man,
on it. Let's
that's
go for that.
Fantastic. Yeah. So many good ideas. Here's another jackass that ran the lottery. Luck doesn't begin to describe the good fortune that has hit a Randolph, Massachusetts couple. Robert Goodwin just won $1 million jackpot on a $5 instant lottery ticket after his wife Jane won $1 million in Publishers Clearinghouse in August. And now we hate them too.
Wow.
The Massachusetts Lottery said in a press release on Monday, the husband chose a lump sum payment of $650,000. I hate you. At least part of which will go toward purchasing a home in an over 55 community someplace where he won't have to deal with snow.
Yeah.
No more shoveling, he said.
He said, I can't believe I'm due to hit the Powerball on Tuesday.
Yep. And again, we hate them too.
I heard a story that this woman started complaining to her husband about spending too much money on lottery tickets and winning little to nothing on them, and then
Which is how it usually works.
yeah, and so he's like, "Why don't you just go and grab one, see how exhilarating it is?" She goes, gets a $5 one, and wins like $2 million from it,
And then divorces him.
Yeah,
No, this she shot him.
And then she shot him.
Quit your bitching.
Yeah.
Pop.
There is one more story that I absolutely have to get to, because because this one is just fun. A Rhode Island rap artist whose songs include a tune titled "Sell Drugs" was sentenced to 3 years in prison Wednesday for selling drugs.
Ironic.
30-year-old Michael Prasad, a.k.a. Montana Mills, pleaded guilty in October to drug trafficking charges. According to prosecutors, Prasad sold and delivered nearly 3/4 of an ounce of fentanyl and 2 grams of heroin to an undercover East Providence police detective between October 2016 and February 2017. Authorities added that on at least 2 occasions, Prasad's girlfriend drove him to the delivery site. Prosecutors also said police seized an additional 1.5 ounces of fentanyl during a search of the Providence home where the mother of one of Prasad's children lived. His lawyer, Matthew Smith, which doesn't sound like a lawyer name to me.
No.
His lawyer told Associated Press the sentence was fair and just. Yeah, because he did it.
Yeah.
Prosecutors had asked for a 6-month prison term. Prasad also awaits sentencing in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania, where a jury convicted him of drug charges this past August. So, hey, he is true to his word.
2 strikes.
If you're going to have a song called Sell Drugs, you better get busted for selling drugs or you have no street cred.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the man knows his audience. That's
Well,
exactly,
I can say you got to go with that street cred. You don't want to go to the slam for stealing, cookies from a
absolutely not.
Girl Scout. If you got to.
Yeah, there's certain things you don't want to go to prison for, and selling drugs. I mean that's if you're a rap artist with a song called "Sell Drugs," and you go to prison for selling drugs, it's cool, man. You're good.
Yeah, you're golden. You're golden in the slam. See, I just look like I do drugs.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Just wink. Just look.
Wink,
like
wink,
you,
nod. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it kicking in? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, now that we're getting older, how the drugs that you do switch.
Well, yeah. You go from
stuff that you used to do recreationally to.
Used to be for fun. Now it's for necessity. Yeah.
Well, I never really did Advil for fun, but
Oh, you didn't?
Now it's like, oh yeah, where's my sinus pill? I don't want to drip snot on everything.
Yeah. If you can't drip snot on everything, then why is life even worth living?
Oh, that's how I mark territory.
Exactly.
Walk around the house and fling it like a slobbery dog.
Sorry, I'm doing some things here that I forgot to do earlier.
Taking care of some paperwork.
Taking care of some paperwork here on the live, and you get to listen in.
Woo-hoo!
Hey,
Lucky
next I'm
you.
going to do my taxes.
Yeah.
All right, Trace Martin. Martin.
Yeah.
I just go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still use Martin on stage?
I do. It's
Okay.
my middle name. Keeps me out of trouble.
Okay.
When I'm looking for a
the
job or
authorities,
something, it confuses people.
Gotcha. See, that's a good thing with Don Smith is there's 18 million of us.
See, that's
can never. They try to Google me and they never get anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get a bunch of me.
If you look up Tracy Shuttleworth, there's some in England, but if you look up Trace Martin, kind of just me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it that way.
That's how you be an individual.
Yeah.
I just said
gotta stand out.
You be an individual.
Exactly.
All right. Well, like you said, you have nothing going on and nothing to promote.
Absolutely nothing.
But it's always good having you on the show.
Might get down to Wiley's here in the next few weeks. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta come. We do 5 o'clock. We do the Comics Hang. I don't know if you know that. 5 o'clock every Sunday.
Yeah.
We do a Comics Hang and workshop from 5
I don't
to
even
7.
know what today is. I just
What is
had it
today?
in my book that
Today
you
is
show
the
up
day I
on
do
Be
my
On the
radio show. That's all I know.
That's how I had it in my phone.
And I have to go to work. So beyond that,
woke up and said, "Go to the radio station." Okay.
Yeah, you just listen. We all obey our phones nowadays. That's how we get through life. Doug Levis, the Levis Effect. What time's your show on Saturday?
10 to 11 a.m.
10 to 11 a.m. on Saturday to talk about sports.
Yeah.
And do you talk about anything else? You just go over sports, or
Just go over sports. I'm
Okay.
kind of having a tough time figuring out what to do since football's kind of dying down nowadays. So
yeah, you'll come up with something.
yeah, somehow.
Like I keep telling you, comedians are almost always starved for airtime, and you get a microphone in front of them, and they just go on for hours about nonsense. So
Even if you just want them to make fun of sports,
exactly.
give them a topic, turn them loose.
Yep, there you go. All right, well, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to sign off. It's been good having you, Trace. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again,
get back out
Don.
to the comedy world. I'm not forcing you because I can barely even force myself to do it.
No, I do have new jokes. I continue to write.
Well,
It's
that's
just,
that's good because I'm kind of at a dry spell with writing. And be sure to check out the Levis Effect on Saturdays at 10 a.m. With Doug Levis. And on that note,
bid you adieu.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. I have no guests planned yet, so I'm going to have to find some people to come on with me next week, and we'll all be surprised together.
Yep, I might be back.
Yep, I might be fired. Thanks for tuning in, and go listen to some Sell Drugs.
There you go.
Don't get busted.
This has been The Life.
Yep, this is The Life. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Life Podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can always stream the show live at wwsu1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments for the show, feel free to email us at thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
I don't think I've ever done that joke anywhere but Wiley's.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not even going to point out you just said but Wiley's.